Welcome back. Are you one of those people that tends to hoard a few things? And I don't mean crazy hoarding, but could use a little decluttering. Many of us could. I know that I've got a few closets in my house that could use a go through. Kim Watt is joining us this afternoon. She owns a company called Everything Organized. There's many locations in BC, and she specializes in getting people on top of their clutter. It's nice to have you here today.
Thank you, Susan.
Most notably, actually, Kim was in TLC's Buried Alive, which is about hoarders. I'd love to start with that just quickly. It makes up a small amount of what you do, but hoarding is a huge problem out there for some people.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that when you have shows like TLC's Buried Alive and Hoarders, I think that what it does is it really brings that type of condition out into the open, and people start getting into dialogue and start talking about things of that nature, and it's not so closed door anymore, and people are more apt to reach out.
Did you see some crazy stuff on that show? Where people, like, are there some crazy hoarders out there?
Absolutely, and you know what's really interesting, Susan, is that there's more people that hoard than what you think, and it's not the old, typical thought that it's the dirty people that hoard. Not at all. We've worked on many hoarding contracts where these are pillars of the community and people that you would know who they are, but of course because of confidentiality reasons, we'd never be able to say.
So 3 to 5% is what you do for hoarding. But what you really tend to focus in on are people who are looking to declutter and to organize and make sense of a house that they lived in for 40 or 50 years, and they're now moving into a smaller place. That's a big part of your business.
Well, absolutely. And I think that when we look at our statistics, within the corporation, probably 85 to 87% of our business is senior focused. And the drive really is seniors or adult children of those seniors reaching out to say, mom and dad are having to downsize. They're moving into some kind of retirement living. Doesn't necessarily have to be into, Kamloops Seniors Village, retirement concepts type of structure, but it very well could be that, they're going to be moving into a condo. The average senior lives in their home approximately 45 years, and you can imagine the amount of volume that accumulates over that time. So the amount of time that it would take for family members to go through that home with their aging parent is quite the task. And the first year we started the company, it was the adult children phoning in to say, mom and dad are moving, we need you to help. And the trend this year is that it's the seniors phoning in themselves saying, I need to move and I'm not getting my family to do it.
And you know what, I think there's something to be said about that. They don't want to put their kids through that process. But if it was me, I'm not sure that I'd want people or my kids to come through and say, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that you kept all these crazy things. And some of that stuff is personal, and you want to have somebody do it that might be a little bit more objective.
Well, it is. And I think definitely when you're hiring a professional and a third party to come in, it does make that process a little bit easier. There's no emotionality doesn't mean that we're not caring and kind and empathetic. We are very much. But again, there's no history there. So we are the employee and the senior is the employer. And so therefore it's a little bit of a different makeup.
Absolutely, because if you're the daughter and you're going through and you find love letters from some old boyfriend that belonged to your mom, it's awkward, right?
Yes.
You don't want that. Yeah, you want a little bit of confidentiality.
Well, and likewise, as we age, there's certain things that happen to our bodies and whatnot that we really don't want to have our adult children or our family members, be privy to. And again, that's where the professionalism, comes in from a firm such as ours, where anything that we go through, whether it's professional whole home organizing, hoarding, dealing with a senior, it's all completely confidential.
Fantastic. Is any job too big or too small for what you guys do?
No, absolutely not. We work on an hourly rate and we work on project rates. We've completed some projects that have been, 3 hours in nature. Likewise, we've done some projects where it's taken us 4 to 5 months to complete, depending on the size.
I would have to say, with our growing senior population, this has got to be quite a high demand situation.
It's huge. When I started the company 3.5 years ago, I had no idea that it would bloom as quickly and as rapidly as it has. And if you look at the statistics with regards to age, right now about 13% of our population is 65 plus. Within 20 years, that number is going to skyrocket to over 25%. So as a business owner, this is something that is we're very much aware of, and we very much tailor our services towards the senior clientele.
Okay, Everything Organized has been in operation for 3.5 years. Locations here, Vernon, Kelowna, Penticton, the Lower Mainland, including Chilliwack. And interestingly as well, now you are starting to franchise.
Yes, we did. We franchised about 12 weeks ago. And what's interesting is we're already in contract negotiations with several people across the province. And we've also had an inquiry with a lawyer in the UK that wants to take Everything Organized to the United Kingdom. So yes, I do believe that you know, people are looking at businesses that have a rapid growth type of scenario behind it, and yeah, the industry is speaking for itself.
Well, you guys are obviously doing what you're doing well. Otherwise, I think the demand is there, but you also have to be good at what you do. So good for you.
Thank you very much.
On growing the business. If you would like to learn more about Everything Organized, the website is on your screen, everythingorganized.net as well. The phone number, hope I got it right, 578-7090.
Absolutely.
Good. Okay,
Sorry.
Good. 578-7090. Kim, thanks so much for being here today.
That's awesome. Thanks,
All
Susan.
right.